What's going on, guys? Hey, I want to talk to you about a trend that has actually been happening a lot. And I think it's a major problem that could be undermining your credibility with your connections. Which is your overenthusiasm to commit. Let's say we hang out and we're having a great time and we had dinner, we had drinks, and we're like, man, this was so much fun. We should do this again in a month. And one party's totally on board. All right, great suggestion. And let's say Steve's the one that made the suggestion. And then the month comes and Steve doesn't call. And so they call and be like, hey, we're going to get together. We're going to have those drinks. We're excited. Yeah. And you're like, oh, yeah. Why'd I say that? Because I'm really not feeling that, or, oh my gosh, got so much going on. Now I've got to make an excuse, or I got to make up a reason why I can't do it. You are completely shattering what people have in terms of perception about you and your ability to follow through. And I find that people have this overabundance of enthusiasm to do things that are kind of down the line, whether that's show up and support somebody at an event, whether that is volunteer at an organization, whether that's, do something of, some sort of level of significance. It's easy to say yes today because I'm not having to do it today. I'm kicking that can down the road. But then when the road meets the can, there is a problem. And that problem often undermines your credibility when you don't show up, you don't follow through, you don't do what you said you'd do when you said you'd do it. And I'm starting to see that there are a lot of people out there that this just becomes the norm. I'm thinking actually about a situation that we had happen at my software company where we invested a significant amount of time and money to go see a firm out of state because they had so much potential and there was so much enthusiasm about one of our solutions. It was going to be a game changer for their business. We went up there in good faith, and of course there's no true guarantee that anything ever works out in life, right? But at the end of the day, we went up there because there was so much positivity around what we were doing. And we spent some time that we really didn't have. We invested some time there that we really didn't have. We had some other priorities, but we did it. We made it work. And there was a commitment hey, within the next 2 weeks, we're going to make these, 3 introductions. We're going to have these calls. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And then that didn't happen. 2 weeks turned into, hey, give us another 2 weeks, give us a month, a quarter. Next thing you know, that quarter turns into, 6 months, and here we are. And the reality is that, when I finally, because I don't do well with those situations, I just kind of want to cut through the BS and say, hey, this was what we committed to do. These are what the things that you asked us to do, we followed through, but you guys have not done what you said you would do. And then it came, from their CEO, we got super busy, we got more work than we can handle, and maybe we bit off a little bit more than we can chew. And that does happen. I get it. I understand. However, if you knew that 2 weeks after you made the commitment, you probably should own up to it and say, Steve, I think we got a little carried away, and I think we probably overcommitted or overextended ourselves. How about we back that off a little bit? Let me reset the expectations. I would have had a lot more respect for that situation than waiting, now nearly a year. I said 6 months, but it's really been closer to a year. And then they're kicking the can down into 2024. Well, I'm not going to be there in 2024. I'm not going to come hat in hand waiting for opportunity because that is more convenient in their time frame because it will no longer be convenient for mine. The reality is it isn't that they aren't great people and I wouldn't want to work with them if the opportunity presented itself. Sure, I would definitely answer the phone. I would certainly work with them to make it make sense, but they have lost credibility in a big, big way. I'm not going to continue to chase somebody that feels like they can't be caught. I don't want to feel like I have to work that hard. And that's a business relationship, but I see it happen so many times with individual relationships as well. We feel like we have to keep chasing. And every time somebody keeps putting you off, it really says more about them than it says about you. But it also says something about you in that you are so committed, maybe a little too committed, that you become too fixated on making sure they follow through on what they said they'd follow through. Whether that's having dinner, whether that's getting together for drinks, a month from now, whether that's doing some, big charity event or volunteering at an organization, when people don't follow through after they said they would, it undermines their credibility. And sometimes when people are busy showing you who they are, pay attention and let them. Because if they let you down now, there's a high probability they will let you down at some point in the future. Here's the takeaway, my friends. Don't do this yourself. I tend to be a yes guy sometimes. I always want to be the best I can for people that are in front of me. But sometimes you have to be better at saying no. Like, look, I would love to get together a month from now, but I don't know what my schedule is going to be like. And I would much rather be honest about that now than to say, yes, the second Tuesday of next month, I am going to be free. We're going to be here. We're going to have drinks. We're going to have dinner. And then me have to cancel the day before or the day of because it just sounds like you are a flake. And that is unfortunate, but it's not something that people don't pay attention to. You don't want to be that person. You don't want to be that individual or that company that people look at as unreliable, undependable. Maybe they talk a good game, but their delivery and their follow-through is lacking. Swing and a miss. So, takeaway. Don't overcommit when you aren't truly committed to following through. And if you do commit to do something, make darn sure that it has to be something earth-shattering before you will back away or cancel. Because when you do, you may not get another chance. And it's such an important aspect to building your relationships, to be the person that follows through on their commitments and is dependable, reliable, and does what they say they'll do when they say they'll do it. Food for thought. Guys, go out there, make a difference in the world, make a difference in someone's life. You will make a difference in your own life. And as always, ripple on.